Just a heads up to you folks sitting with a notebook and pen, Mischke, the new podcast here in Garage Logic Land, is now coming out twice a week, Wednesdays and Fridays. If you're in fact scribbling this down, Wednesday is kind of tough to spell. It's not like it sounds. You want to spell it W-E-N-Z, but that, of course, would be a mistake. Friday is spelled just like it sounds. You're going to be okay there, but Wednesday's a bugaboo. Let me tell you, people, just a pain in the patootie. Jeez, it's hard.
Several homes in the suburb of Northwood had the most beautiful landscaping.
Such perfection.
The neighbor responsible? Retiree Arvin Shreve.
It reminded me of Mr. Rogers.
But Arvin hid a dark secret.
My mom took me to this house, and then I never lived with her again.
Arvin's message was, I have a key to get you into heaven.
Gardens of Evil is the unbelievable story of the Zion Society cult, told by those who lived it. Find Gardens of Evil inside the Zion Society cult, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Vector 7, bring her down. 9 control 6, 324, roger. Pull in the asymmetrical unit. Down tight. Name's Mischke. Hooty hooty hoo. Hooty hooty hoo. One, two, three. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Mischke. Coming to you from the outpost here on the bleak barren tarmac of University Avenue, where dreams have gathered for years in smoky back rooms, hoping and praying to be realized. Dreams, that's right. What is my specific dream? Born in that same back room years ago, my dream is to have words sail from this outpost, finding their way to your ear, winding their way to your heart, settling there comfortably as if resting on a beanbag chair from 1969. I wish for nothing less, my friends. And should my words reach your heart, and should you feel them soothing, comforting, should they fit easily, effortlessly, as if they were made for that inviting little home called your heart, well, my visit to this planet will have been worth it. But should I annoy you, as I have from time to time, should I bother you, then I shall fail and fail miserably, and my existence will have been wasted. The stakes are high, my friends. The stakes are high. Now let's check the news. I thought I heard something about a meteor shower. Hang on a second. Let me check the Vector 7. Meteor shower. Yes, tonight. The Lanoid meteor shower, bringing up to 15 meteors per hour. Well, there's a nighttime show waiting to be enjoyed. All over the country, people will be looking up in the sky, saying, "What is that, a meteor?" No, you moron, that's a meteorite.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's a meteoroid. That's a meteoroid.
You're all wrong. It's an asteroid. That's not accurate, Charlie. There's a comet. It is not a comet. Isn't it just called a shooting star?
Shooting star?
All over America, mothers and fathers will be having to answer these questions from their children. What's the difference between an asteroid, a comet, a meteorite, a meteoroid, a meteor? Mom and Dad? Shut up, Billy. Just enjoy. We call them lights in the sky, little lights in the sky, that's all. We don't complicate it. It's something up there in space, that's all we know. It didn't come named. The Creator did not name it. Just lights in the sky, Billy. That's what we're going with. If you think of them that way, your life's going to be a lot easier. Because if they had no light, you wouldn't see them, Billy. So if you see them, they have light, and we just call them lights in the sky. Okay, Billy? You stare down from some hilltop to the city and see the city lights. You don't ask that they be parsed out, huh, do you? You stare down at the city and you say, there are the city lights. You don't say, wait, which one's a headlight? Which one's a street light? Which one's a porch light? They're lights, city lights. Let's not define anything any more than that. Life is complicated enough. I mean, do you call them pancakes? Do you call them flapjacks? Do you call them hotcakes? What? Does it matter? Food. How about just food? Gym shoes, tennis shoes, Air Jordans, sneakers. I get tired of it all. Shoes. Keep life simple, Billy, best you can. As you grow up, try to keep life simple. Is it a lollipop? Is it a sucker? Do you care? Tastes good, doesn't it? Leave it at that. Is it a traffic circle? Is it a roundabout? Shut up! You're driving down the road. Enjoy it. You'll drive yourself mad with all the jargon, kiddo. That's the sky up there, and those are some lights. Watch them. Smile. Feel a sense of wonder. I don't want to hear so many questions. I didn't have kids to answer questions. I had kids to help me when I'm older putting on my diapers.
Mischke, where you going with the program? What's the plan to get through the next 45 minutes?
You know how we're going to get through this show? I'll tell you how we're going to make it. We're going to make it with persistence and determination. Remember what Calvin Coolidge said. Old Cal, the double C. Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing's more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is as common as dust. Education won't. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. Remember that. Persistence and determination. That's all you need to make your best creation is persistence and determination. Everything else is secondary, Larry. Minneapolis St. Paul Plumbing, Heating, and Air would like you to know almost every service guarantee you ever get vanishes the moment you change the name on the deed of your house. When you sell your house, the warranty dies. That's because most companies are guaranteeing a short-term fix. You sell your house, okay, that's over with. That's not guaranteeing the integrity of the work. That's playing a game. At Minneapolis St. Paul Plumbing, Heating, and Air, they operate on a different timeline. When they install or service your home's critical systems, they offer a quality of work so profound they put it in writing for the next owner of your house. Their warranty is transferable. When you choose MSP, you're not just ensuring your immediate comfort, you're upgrading the underlying value of your property. Choose the company that invests in the long-term value of your home. Choose MSP.
Northwood was a quiet, idyllic American suburb, but the beautiful landscaping hid a dark secret.
The horror that happened inside those homes with such a pretty facade. It just didn't make sense.
The immaculate yards were designed by retired landscaper Arvin Shreve.
He reminded me of Mr. Rogers.
But Arvin was not who he appeared to be.
He's proclaiming to be a prophet.
Arvin's message was, if you do all these things for me sexually, then I have a key to get you into heaven.
My mom took me to this house, and then I never lived with her again.
My podcast, Gardens of Evil, tells the unbelievable story of the Zion Society cult and an investigator who rescued dozens of children from the clutches of a predator. It reveals tactics used by abusers like Arvin or anyone who manipulates for their own selfish ends. And it's the story of resilient survivors who are finding ways to heal 3 decades later.
Forgive yourself. Keep moving forward. You didn't know any better.
Find Gardens of Evil inside the Zion Society cult, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey, pick up your phone, call your bank, listen to the music they play. That's kind of fun, isn't it? That music is the sound of your bank, talking only to itself. It's a freaking echo chamber, a massive system where your money is just a digital whisper and your questions are automated input. That's banking today, folks. North American Banking Company is not built for the noise. They're built for the conversation with you. They exist outside the financial bureaucracy. They're a community bank with 6 Twin Cities locations. Their decisions are made by people who live here, not people reading some national algorithm. For North American Banking Company, you are the future of a neighborhood. That loan you need for your small business, the mortgage for your family, these aren't transactions. They're pivotal life decisions. North American Banking Company gets that. Your financial goals deserve a human ear.
North American Banking Company. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Well, 165 years ago this month, Abe Lincoln was elected President of the United States. 16th President of the United States. Before that, it was Washington Adams, Jefferson and Madison, Monroe, Adams, Jackson and Van Buren, Harrison, Tyler, Polk and Taylor, Fillmore, Pierce, Buchanan, then Abraham Lincoln. Stop it! Only 40% of the population ended up voting for Abe Lincoln. Only 40%. You know why? It was a 4-way race, that's why. And he beat Stevie Douglas, Johnny Bell, and old John Brennanridge. But Lincoln only got 40% of the popular vote. People waking up the day after the election said, "Who's our new president-elect? Who is it?" Abe won. Abe? The big guy? Wonder what kind of a president he'll be. Well, I'll tell you, I have an old friend named Festus. He sells wood in Chaunceytown. He says Abe is gonna be decent. Possibly the greatest president in the history of our nation. Really? Yeah, just call him President Goat. Greatest of all time. Well, this is going to be cool, having the best president ever for a few years. Well, yes and no. The good news is we get to experience the best president ever. The bad news is you'll need to be grabbing your rifle and bayonet and spending the next 4 years ramming that thing into other human beings, as other human beings try to ram their bayonet into you. Well, I hope the people ramming their bayonets into me will at least speak English. They're not only going to speak English, they're going to be your fellow countrymen. Might even be your cousins, in some cases even your brothers. Well, that's kind of nice. That's going to be the fun of the Civil War. We get to be killed by the good guys. So there's a silver lining in the 700,000 who will be killed. Not 70,000, 700,000. 700,000. It's going to be a 4-year bloodbath of unimaginable proportions. But you say the war will last only 4 years? Maybe this Abe guy will get a second term, and we can enjoy his presidency then, when the war's over, when I'm not killing my fellow countrymen. He does get another term. The sad news is he'll serve only 6 weeks of that term. At which point, another English-speaking guy, another American, will put a bullet in his head while he's enjoying a play with his wife. This country is freaking nuts! Speaking of death, we have another death to report. We've lost George Smoot. He was an American physicist and Nobel laureate who's one of the key figures responsible for coming up with the Big Bang Theory, providing evidence of what he called the primordial seeds that grew into galaxies that resulted ultimately in me talking to you right now. George Smoot came up with his Big Bang business way back in the 1970s. He said, if you're religious, what I encountered in my work was like seeing the very face of God. Suddenly it was right there, the Big Bang. Kaboom, kablooey, a kapow, pow. The story made its way to the New York Times under the headline, "Scientists Report Profound Insight on How Time Began." And there was theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking saying, "This is the greatest discovery of the century, if not of all time." "Way to go, Smootenheimer," Hawking said. George Smoot, dead at the age of 80. The Vatican today accepts the Big Bang Theory. It's a valid explanation of how the universe began. Faith explains why it exists. So the Smootenheimer was not in conflict with the Pope. But I would have liked to have been there when the Smootster first figured out that this whole damn thing started with a Big Bang, and that what blew up was so ridiculously small it might not have even been able to be seen with a microscope should one have been around back then. When he came down for breakfast the next morning, he must have had a tough time explaining this to his wife. This can't be right. It just can't be right. "What is it, honey?" "Well, I'm just doing the work on the early days of the universe, trying to figure out where the heck it all started. And man, I don't know, I'm just struggling with this." "Oh, who cares where it all began, honey? Just enjoy it." "Well, sweetie, this is what I do for a living. I'm tasked with finding out how it all started." "Oh, I know, honey, but some days I think, wouldn't you just rather work at a tire store?" "A tire store? My God, sweetheart, I'm a physicist." "I know, but whenever I talk to the other ladies, they always ask what you do, and it's so embarrassing. I don't know what to say. I have to explain how you're trying to figure out where it all began, how it all came to be. They all say the same thing. They just say, 'Who cares?'" "Well, sweetheart, I'm sorry, but your lady friends are idiots. Now, honey, if you wouldn't mind grabbing me a cup of coffee, I got to sit with these numbers a little longer. Let's see what we have here. 14.773 divided by 0.0096. Carry the 3. This can't be right. It just can't be right. "What's bothering you, George?" "Honey, I've been up all night, and I think I found the answer to where it all began. But, man, it's going to be a tough sell at the office today with the other fellas." "Well, try it out on me, sweetheart. I'll see what I think. That might be a good test." "Okay, honey, that's a good idea, sure. I'll see what you think here. Okay, as you look out into our backyard, sweetheart, look out on the backyard there. You see the grass, see the lilac tree there, the alley. You see the cars going by out on the street. You see the kids waiting for the school bus way down the block. The birds overhead, do you see them? Do you see the clouds? Can you see the sunlight coming up over the trees there? If you think of all that, plus the trillions of stars and planets and everything that ever was, it all used to be packed into a little space far smaller than an atom, infinitely small, actually, and infinitely dense. Just the tiniest little speck, millions and millions and millions of times smaller than a pinhead, and all of it one day just went kaboom. Just one day it went kaboom, you know what I'm saying? Boom! And here suddenly we are 14 billion years later, and there's people getting ready to go to the ball game, and some people are barbecuing with the Kreitzmans. That's what you're going to tell your staff? That's what you're going to tell people at work today? Yeah, that's what I came up with. I checked it several times over. It always comes out the same way. You sure you have numbers to back this up? I mean, you're going to need some numbers. Without numbers, George, you might as well slip into a little song and dance number. If they think this is more of a party gag, they'll be more understanding. But if you try to sell this as legit... Darlene, are you saying I shouldn't pass this along? That's right, George. I think you should come up with something else. Just say there was a large cosmic stork. It dropped the universe from a golden beak when ordered to by a strange, mysterious force called Ben. Gentle Ben, maybe. We'll never understand why Gentle Ben wanted it, but it did. Later on at the office, there George was, saying, "Fellas, once upon a time, a long time ago, there was this tiny, infinitesimally small dot, infinitely dense, millions and millions and billions and trillions of times smaller than a pinhead, just this piece of nothing, almost nothing, and she blew. She blew. She blew. Something happened, and she blew. And I mean, man, every single thing was created. All of it, all of it, all of it, all of it. And here we are, gentlemen, here we are. Last night, 2 a.m., I saw the face of God, and the numbers back it up. Just to cover my ass, though, I brought a top hat, a coat with tails, and I'm going to do a song and dance. Blah-da-da-da-da-da. Ring-a-ding-ding and a clang-clang-clang. Gonna tell you about the old Big Bang and the boom-boom here and the boom-boom there. Suddenly we have everywhere. Time and space, it came along. I checked the numbers. I'm not wrong.
Time and space, it came along. He checked the numbers. He's not wrong.
And the boom-boom here and the boom-boom there. Suddenly we have everywhere. Well, I think it's time to go to the listener list and see who we can call. We just look at that big old list there, all those folks who have contacted me and said, yeah, you can call me sometime if you want to, Mischke. I got a big old list here. And I'm going to just grab a name off it and see if I find them around, see if they answer. It's always good to talk to people.
Hello?
Well, hello there, Tim.
Who's this?
Well, I'll give you 3 guesses.
I don't have a clue.
No idea whatsoever.
Oh, it's Mr. Oh, geez. I just listened to you Friday. Oh, man. You're killing me, Smalls.
Come on.
Mischke.
There you go.
I knew it'd come to me.
Now, how old are you? You don't sound old enough for this to be happening to you yet.
I'm knee-deep in work.
I'm going to guess what you're knee-deep in, just based on what I picked up so far. I'm guessing that you are knee-deep in working on an automatic pedestrian door. Am I right?
You are.
What are the odds of that?
You read my text when I texted you to call me.
Oh, but wasn't that original text months ago?
Yeah.
I'm kind of the opposite of you. You can't remember my name from Friday. I remember from several months ago that you're an automatic pedestrian door technician, a job I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Who has heard of that? You think there's a kid in America at Show and Tell who says, I want to tell you about my dad, the automatic pedestrian door technician? What? How long you been doing that?
This is my 25th year.
Wow, you must be the master of those SOBs. Is there anything about them you don't understand?
You know, if I got enough time to dig into it, I'll figure it out. But there's just so many different models and manufacturers and how they wire it. And
when did they first come along?
as soon as they had electricity, probably.
I don't think we had automatic pedestrian doors in the 19th century, and yet we had electricity.
Yeah, that might have been pushing it.
So what got
Probably.
you interested in automatic pedestrian doors?
I needed a job, and the boss hired me.
What were you wanting to do prior to that? What was your dream? What were you hoping for?
I always wanted to work with my hands.
But you didn't want to get your fingernails dirty.
I get them dirty.
Oh.
I don't mind that.
Okay. So you always wanted to work with your hands, and one day this guy says, how'd you like to be an automatic pedestrian door technician? And you said, wait a minute. Is there enough work there?
Yeah, it was an eye-opening day.
Did he say, can you get out to Glendale? They got an automatic pedestrian door that ain't working. And then you get out there, and everybody's going in and out of it like a regular door, you know, opening it and closing it. and they're just mad as hell because they have to open it and close it, screaming, "Where's a technician around here to make this thing work by itself?"
Remember when you were a kid, you used to jump on and off the pressure pad to make the door open and close?
When I was a kid, I did that last week.
There ain't many pressure pads around. Well, sensors now, but...
Oh, I see. What I used to do when I was a kid to make something happen that made me feel like I had power was I'd go to the gas station and jump up and down on the hose that made the bell ring.
Same thing.
I'd jump up and down on that until the owner of the station came out with a shotgun. I realized later when I worked at a gas station how annoying that was, but at the time I thought he was overreacting. Have you ever found yourself working on an automatic pedestrian door where you said to yourself, I thought this job was going to be boring, but I'm having about the best day of my life. This is fascinating.
Some days are really gravy, and other days you're...
What's a gravy day?
Changing batteries and handicap push plates.
Changing batteries and handicap push plates? You mean you show up, you got your work clothes on, coveralls, tool belt, and you change the batteries on the little handicap push plate?
Just like your garage door opener. Once or twice a year, you got to change the battery.
You know what I sometimes do, and I don't think this is wise, but sometimes I'll notice the batteries are out, and I'll say to a handicap guy, might be better this way. It pushes you to, stretch. They'll give you a dirty look, but I'll say, I'm not saying you're going to walk again, but give a little effort. What are your favorite hobbies?
I'm a competitive rifle shooter.
Can I nickname you Oswald?
If I say no, you'd do it anyway, so what's the point?
Have you shot a Mannlicher Carcana? I've always wanted to check one of those out. But the trick is finding a 6-story window that opens these days. What else do you do?
Well, that leads to hand loading. I got to make my ammunition if I want to shoot.
You make your own ammunition. Have you ever made anything bigger than a bullet?
In my younger days, we played around with.
Pipe bombs? The FBI have a nickname for you at all? So what are you doing today?
I'm just wheeled in my next job. And
you're knee-deep in it right now. What's the problem with that door?
Well, I think a breakout switch is failing.
Is that behind the tensioner nut, or where do you find that? You know what I do sometimes on those babies, and I just do it just because sometimes it helps, is I oil the bell housing assembly.
Oh, okay.
You got a flush valve kit on you? Do you carry flush valve kits?
Yep.
Use that and see what happens. Are you at a business right now, or where is that door?
Grocery store.
You just say automatic pedestrian door, first thing I think is grocery store. My old man had a job opening the door for the women who were coming out with their shopping bags. They'd give him a nickel, And as soon as they made those automatic doors, he was out of a job. And I said, Dad, the same complaints you have right now are the complaints people are going to have about AI. Same thing. Automation comes and takes your job. He raised 8 kids on a doorman's salary, which, again, isn't really a salary. It's pretty much tips. But guys like you come along, fix those doors, and guys like my old man head to the bar and start drinking. And they curse your name. You know what they say when those doors stop working? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. See, they think it's back to normal, back to working the way a door should, where a person has to open it and then close it, and you come along and break that perfect model that allows a guy to do something for a woman and to make a little cash. And what do the women say when Pop opens the door? Hi, Maury, how are you? A lovely exchange that automation came and took away, stole from the people. Well, I'm glad I finally got a hold of you. I had tried a few times.
I've seen that.
I've enjoyed visiting with you.
Likewise.
Hope to talk to you again sometime, and good luck with the rest of your day on this project you're on.
Okay, Tommy.
All right, so long now. Let's be honest about buying a new car. You kind of hate it. All the options, the counter offers, the small print. It's an exercise in exhaustion sometimes. You need a solution that's simple, that's decisive. You need to outsource the entire headache. Fury Motors is not a dealership. It's a single unified acquisition team. They have been in the business since 1963, and they don't just sell vehicles. They eliminate complexity. You're not going to Waconia for a Ford, Forest Lake for a Buick and GMC, Stillwater and South St. Paul for a Chrysler, Dodge, or Jeep. You're going to Fury. Fury. One name, one reputation, one approach. You tell them the mission, new or used, truck or sedan, what make and model. They execute. They handle the trade. They source the exact vehicle. They structure the financing. Stop spending weekends wading through options. Fury Motors will take your automotive problem and turn it into a done deal. Learn more at FuryMotors.com.
Several homes in the suburb of Northwood had the most beautiful landscaping.
Such perfection.
The neighbor responsible? Retiree Arvin Shreve.
It reminded me of Mr. Rogers.
But Arvin hid a dark secret.
My mom took me to this house, and then I never lived with her again.
Arby's message was, I have a key to get you into heaven.
Gardens of Evil is the unbelievable story of the Zion Society cult, told by those who lived it. Find Gardens of Evil inside the Zion Society cult wherever you listen to podcasts.
Did you rebalance your synthetic dividend lock before the close of the cubic tax vortex? Because if your algorithmic microcap isn't properly hedged against the rising tide of quantified yogurt futures, then your entire retirement structure could suffer a catastrophic portfolio spillage. Stop! That's what modern investing sounds like. It's a frantic, confusing, self-important mess. Well, for 40 years, Josh Arnold has been doing one thing, helping real people build real retirement security without the glossary, without the nonsense, without the panic. He doesn't speak in riddles. He speaks in results. Josh Arnold wants you to call him. He's going to give you 48 minutes free on the phone. 48 minutes is a lot of time to get a sense of the man, to get a sense of what he can do for you. It doesn't cost you anything. 952-925-5608.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant LLC, a security and investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. Tommy Mischke is a paid endorser.
What's up?
It's the worst connection in the history of telephone calls.
I'm talking to you through my semi, sorry.
Through a semi? How are you talking to me through a semi?
Hang on a minute.
Sounds like you're in the bottom of a coffee can with a fan on.
That's what my wife says.
But doesn't she say that when you're making love? Hello?
There we go.
Are we going to have to start the call over? Where are you?
Brooklyn Park.
Why would you ever go there? There's nothing there.
Walmart.
That's what I mean. Nothing.
Walmart.
The nothing that has come to this planet is Walmart. Are you unloading a truck at Walmart?
I drive one that says Kemp's.
Kemp's?
Yeah.
It's the cows. I always thought that was a great tagline. It's the cows. Dairy products that make the journey from family farms to family tables. I guess if you're single, you don't get to enjoy any of it. It started with company founder Billy Kemp's and the principles he learned from his mom and dad on their 80-acre farm in the late 19th century. Billy and Walter Lathrop joined together to form the Lathrop Kemp's Ice Cream Company in Minneapolis, the birthplace of Kemp's. The ice cream company was sold to its St. Paul competitor in 1924, the Crescent Creamery.
What? Oh, Mischke, this is terrible. I can't hear you now.
I'm not talking.
Oh, okay.
They're still living by the same values and delivering the same high-quality dairy products as Billy Kemp's did when the company was first founded. It's the cows! They're different from other cows. Other cows are diseased, filled with pesticides and pestilence, and they're just pests.
Ours is the best.
Did you ever just break into a gallon and have some? What's in the truck right now?
I can't. I'm lactose intolerant.
That's what you call irony. You know, the last time I had a glass of milk? When I was about 21. That's the last time I had a glass of milk. In college one time, I had a dream that I was nursing at the teat of a cow. And I woke up and I said, ah! But that is what we're all doing, isn't it? I mean, in essence, we're all gathering around like we're calves and we're nursing on the teat of a cow when we have milk. What if a guy showed up and asked your wife for a little bit? You know, you got some spare milk there, honey?
That guy would get slapped upside his head.
Yeah, well, why don't the cows slap us upside the head when we come looking? Bunch of perverted, twisted human beings all wanting to have some sick, perverted experience with a cow late night in a barn under the guise of some dairy product. Where are you, by the way? I hear children crying.
I'm in Walmart right now.
Listen to that. It's some lady in heat. What is that?
I don't know what it is. I'll have to ask him. I don't know.
Listen to that. Someone help that woman. Maybe she's delivering a child.
Well, I'm in the back room. There's no kids back here.
There are kids still in the womb. Well, I'll let you go. I've enjoyed our time together.
Okay. Call me whenever you want.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Dear Abby, what did they write today? Dear Abby, what did you have to say?
All right, here is today's Dear Abby. And I do find it extraordinary that in this day and age we can still find the Dear Abby column. Obviously, this is Abigail Van Buren's daughter, but the fact that we still have advice columns intrigues me. This one is perhaps one of the more boring letters ever to be sent in the history of the column. Dear Abby, I often see ads about stopping smoking. I'd like to share my story of success in overcoming this filthy habit in the hopes that it may help someone else. Abby, I smoked 4 packs of non-filtered cigarettes every day. At the age of 37, I knew I wanted to quit. I set a goal to stop, and I stopped cold turkey. I'm almost 86 now and have had no desire to smoke ever since that day. People out there, be brave, be strong, and follow through. Abby, I hope this will help someone else to live long. Signed, Free in West Virginia. You have got to be kidding me. How did that letter get printed? How did that get picked? Are you down to just getting 1 or 2 letters a week? What possibly could you pass along in response to that letter? Dear Free, that's your big story? That's your piece of insight for smokers? In essence, you smoked and then you quit? That's it? That's your story? Do you think there's a smoker in America who doesn't know people do that? I think every smoker knows that many smokers no longer smoke. I don't think this is a news bulletin, fella. And as for your innovative approach, let's see. You just quit one day. That's all you have for us. That's creative as hell. Don't think I've ever heard that one. Are you sure you didn't just write so you could brag? So you could say I quit smoking and you people didn't, and I get to live to 86 and you get to die of lung cancer? Is it possible you just wrote to taunt? Because this letter offered nothing, absolutely nothing, to the smokers of America. Signed, Abby. No, she did not write that. I don't know what she wrote, actually. I didn't read her response. Usually she says, talk to your doctor or family clergyman. How are letters like this getting picked to be published? Are we going to be seeing more letters like this? Dear Abby, I recently got a job where I make a lot of money, and I thought I'd pass along to your readers a helpful hint for others who might be hoping to make a lot of money. What I did, Abby, was I got a job that paid very, very, very well. That's how I ended up making boatloads of money, Abby. Way more than I need, really. Please tell your readers, living paycheck to paycheck, that they're idiots. There's money out there to be made, and if they don't know how to choose a job that pays very well, they should just make sure they remain a nursing infant in their mother's arms for the rest of their lives. Signed, Fed Up. Dear Fed Up, it's very difficult to stay a nursing infant for one's entire life. Growing up just sort of happens. There's really nothing we can do about it. He writes back, Dear Abby, I'm fine with people growing up, but when I hear someone is struggling financially, I say, hello, why didn't you get a job that paid well? Signed, Fed Up, still. Dear Fed Up, still. What do you do for a living? Dear Abby, I'm a competitor of Josh Arnold's. The investment guy? I give financial advice as well. People call me up and I offer 48 seconds for free. Not 48 minutes like Josh, 48 seconds. I say, snap out of it, you're a barber, and that's why you're broke. Become a venture capitalist and get the hell off my lawn. They don't want to hear that, Abby. So I say, fine. Would you like to hear how to quit smoking? I'll tell you what I did. I stopped buying cigarettes. That'll make it tough to hoover 4 packs a day. How we doing, Abby? Is this fun? Look around. We live in the age of the copycats. The age of this is identical to that. You see it in the optical world. The same 10 plastic frame shapes copied over and over again. When you wear eyewear, every single day it should be a statement. Not a compromise. I think right now the statement whispering your way is Spectacle Shop, where they believe vision demands originality. And your face does as well. They've been named Minnesota's best eyewear shop for the past 5 years running. That doesn't happen with generic inventory. They have eye doctors on staff to handle the necessities, but they exist for the art. It's not what the mall sells. It's what the artists wear. Stop settling for the frame that is just okay. Come get a frame that defines you. Spectacle Shop, 4 Twin Cities locations.
Football season is going hot and heavy, and Underdog is the best place to get into the game and get in on all the action. Best part of Underdog? How easy it is to play. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and lots more. Get your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. This week on Underdog, I'm looking at Josh Jacobs, picking him to go higher for touchdowns, and it seems like Matthew Stafford is always a good pick to go higher on passing yards. Download the app today, sign up with the promo code GARAGE to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code GARAGE. Underdog, make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
You're dealing with a loved one with dementia, Alzheimer's, a grandparent, a parent, a spouse. You're fielding the confusion, managing the frustration, absorbing the guilt. When you signed up for this relationship, you thought you were signing up for love. You didn't think you'd be signing up to be a 24-hour medical supervisor. You're reaching your limit. That's not failure. That's being a human being. You need to step out of the constant draining role of caregiver and step back into the role of family. Let the Wellshire help you do that. The Wellshire Memory Care Center. They're not an expensive babysitter. They're an elite professional team built specifically for the complex challenges of Alzheimer's and dementia. They handle the 3 a.m. confusion, the daily logistics, the clinical nuance with expertise, and they free you. They free you to just love. When the burden of management is lifted, your ability to love is restored. Stop being the exhausted monitor. Start being the joyful presence again. Wellshire Memory Care, Bloomington and Medina. Folks, did you know that fountain pens are more popular than ever? How can that be? How can they be more popular than when we only had fountain pens? I just read the news. It says they're more popular than ever. But fountain pen purists are fuming. They're fuming because Chinese knockoffs are flooding the market, shaking up the community of fountain pen enthusiasts, those still devoted to this old-timey instrument. Ballpoint pens, of course, are significantly cheaper and more practical and more common. Fountain pens are not as convenient for your quick notes or for use on every kind of paper. They can be more fragile, more prone to leaking, more prone to smudging. Fountain pens require more maintenance, including refilling and cleaning and care, which many people don't have the time or the desire to do. Some inks take longer to dry or they bleed through the paper, and yet fountain pens are more popular than ever. But fountain pen purists, I don't know if you've met any. There's a church in my neighborhood that is the Church of the Fountain Pen Purists. You can find all sorts of them there on Sundays. They are fuming. These Chinese knockoffs are flooding the market, and it's upsetting them. They're cheap. They're lousy facsimiles of the traditional fountain pen. A real fountain pen is, well, it's expensive, and these Chinese knockoffs aren't. And they're fooling a lot of people. What's the point of thinking you're the cool guy with the expensive fountain pen if the other folks think they're the cool guy with the fountain pen, and they're getting by cheaper with the Chinese knockoffs? Cheap replicas are flooding the market. Rankling fans of a product long known for steep prices and a user base dominated by royalty, big-time politicians, wealthy elites. There's a Reddit group dedicated to fountain pens that has doubled over the last 5 years to about 370,000 users. But now China has muscled into the mix, and they're gumming up the works. They're mucking things up. They're ruining a cool thing. Damn it, you Chinese! I've never said that before. Damn it, you Chinese! China has worked their way into industries from fine wines to designer handbags to luxury watches. They offer items that look like the real thing, but sell for just a few bucks. And it can force consumers to wonder what exactly they're getting from the more entrenched fancy brands that make these things so expensive. A fella named Lou Waterman is credited for developing the very first fountain pen, way back in 1884. He found a way to make a pen where you could store the ink inside the pen, eliminating the need for the inkwell. That must have been quite a day when he figured that out. Forget this inkwell, I'm putting the ink in the pen. Wait a minute, what? That's like saying, forget putting butter on your corn on the cob. This guy is growing corn with the butter already on it. Anyway, these Chinese knockoffs have fountain pen purists fuming. Fuming!
I am fuming! I'm fuming! Fuming! Fuming!
When was the last time you were fuming? I'd like to know about it. Why don't you text me and tell me the last time you were fuming?
It was the last time I heard Wally.
Kind of want to call someone right now and just tell them I'm fuming.
Directory assistance. What city and state?
I am fuming.
Please speak up.
Do not talk to me like I am a child.
Is this a business? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble hearing you.
How can you possibly have trouble hearing this?
Let me transfer you to an operator.
City and state, please.
I am absolutely fuming right now. Just fuming.
Okay, I'm really sorry about that, sir.
Aren't you going to ask why I'm fuming?
Thank you.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
I am fuming.
What's wrong, Mischke?
I am absolutely fuming.
What did I do?
How many calls have I made to you over the months? Many. I've called you many times. You came onto the list in March.
You know what? Your name was spoken today. I was walking through the garage and my dad and I talked about you.
Tell me what you said.
He asked if I was caught up on the Mischke podcast. And I said, I'm not, but I'm caught up on GL. Are you caught up on GL? And he said, nope.
Well, it's a little war to see which of the two shows is more popular with your family.
I will say this. My mother does not enjoy listening to Garage Logic. My dad races old vintage British cars, and they drive all over the country. He'll put on the GL. She's not a fan, but she's a fan of the Mischke podcast.
Well, that does my heart good. I'd like to do something nice for your mother. What does she like?
Needlework.
I do needlework. I've been doing needlework ever since I first met Rosie Greer. Do you know Rosie?
I don't know Rosie. Is she in the Minnesota Needleworkers Guild?
He would punch you if you said that. He used to play for the LA Rams.
Oh, Jesus. Different kind of Rosie.
Rosie Greer. He was Bobby Kennedy's bodyguard. I'm hoping he was a better football player than a bodyguard. What, did you get that guy cheap? Yeah, Rosie Greer used to do, I think, crochet, or he would knit. I don't know, but he got me into it. I met him at the airport one time. Or what did he get me into? Oh, I know. We ended up buying maxi pads together. Wait a minute, what? What do you do with your life?
I am a fabricator.
I do that. I make stuff up too.
I don't race them. My dad races the car. I kind of pit for him.
My old man and I, when he retired, spent about 2 weeks trying out something like that. We were racing upright vacuum cleaners in Dresser, Wisconsin, behind the laundromat.
Did you move on to belt sander racing after that?
No, I went back to what I used to race before, when I was real little, the Pinewood Derby cars. You remember those?
You were the only adult in the kids' class?
Just because it was originally a kid's thing doesn't mean that as you grew up, you got kicked out. No one ever said you're too old. Sure, everybody else was a Cub Scout, but the point is, it was fun, and with the ramp, you didn't have to do much but let go of your car, and it just went down on its own. When I retire, I'm going to get myself a cool old car. I don't know what it's going to be.
There's two big things when you get a car. I drive old Audis. There's a thing called the Fizz.
The Fizz?
The Fizz, F-I-Z-Z, and it's this feeling when you get in it and you touch things and you hit the knobs and turn the buttons, it gives you this little tickle. There's the Fizz, and then there's another thing that I like to call the look back. So that's when you park your car at a grocery store or whatever, you get out, you walk. Just before you get to the door, you stop and you look back, and you're like, yeah, that's the one.
Between you, me, and the fence post, have you ever done that with a woman?
The Fizz and the look back? Years ago.
Are you married right now?
COVID divorce.
She gets COVID and you dump her?
No, it was living in the Caribbean in a little tiny house and seeing too much of each other. We went down there and started the first veterinary clinic on the island. She was a veterinary nurse. I went down there with her and I got a bunch of other random jobs. I worked at a French deli, was a boat mechanic. And
you were seeing a lot of each other, and all of a sudden you realized the absence of absence makes the heart grow weaker?
I definitely wasn't the best version of myself during the COVID period. And, I don't think she necessarily was either. So it made it a little more easy to dislike each other.
Well, you know what I wish for you? I wish for a woman who gives you the Fizz and the look back. You should put that in one of these dating apps, looking for the Fizz and the look back.
That's not a bad idea.
And then they can contact you and say, Can you explain that? Is this some sort of weird sex game? And you could say, no. For that, I played Twister. Did you guys ever have any kids?
No.
So that worked out. It was a glorified breakup with a girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah, that worked out.
You should have perhaps spent some time with Jane Goodall videos, learning how to be the kind of partner she would want to hang with. I've enjoyed talking to you. I'm glad I finally connected with you.
Well, thanks for calling.
And hope to talk to you again sometime. Thanks for chatting with me.
Keep making this podcast.
I'll keep at it. You keep listening.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.